Well, hello, lovely people. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living, and welcome to another edition of the show. It's getting a little overcast here. I've already been out for my walk this morning, had 64 ounces of watermelon juice. What else? What else? Yeah, the day's just going good. All is right with the world. So, today I wanted to talk to you about raw vegan lifestyle basics. Here's what to do. How do you get started on it? I do videos every day, so if you aren't already, please subscribe to my channel and please click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I'm missing some of my videos. I had to go back through and do that last night. It's just wonky. I figured YouTube would have fixed this thing permanently, but I guess they're just putting some patches on it because this was happening about a year ago and they kind of got it fixed, but I can tell by certain analytics that they're starting to unsubscribe people again. But so raw vegan lifestyle basics. You know me, I'm just trying to always shoot another video that hacks this lifestyle, that makes it easy, that doesn't make it so convoluted. It's not another program. It's not anything, complex to learn. It's basically just learning how to eat or relearning how to eat or reprogramming our mind and body how to eat like we're made to eat. Listen, if you ever experience this lifestyle, I don't care if somebody locks you in a room and makes you do it or you figure out a way to do it. If you ever really get this feeling, you're going to understand. And that's why so many people still kind of, they're wonky on it. They struggle, whatever, because they've never had that feeling. I'm telling you, don't get that feeling if you're not sure about staying on this lifestyle, because it's like smoking crack or booting heroin, man. Once you get that ultimate high, you're going to always be chasing it. But unlike drugs, you can sustain the high on the food. I do. I stay high as a kite every day. So, to hack it. Let's keep it real simple. Information. You do need to educate yourself, but you also need to not give away your control. You need to not fanboy or fangirl on some YouTuber that you find interesting or that might be entertaining. That's a big thing about YouTube, and there's a lot of purposes for YouTube. People go to YouTube for information. People go to YouTube for entertainment. Just when you're going to YouTube, and there's people I watch that I don't get any information, but they entertain me, but just know the difference when you go. And one of the biggest things I would say is take a good sample. Find five to 10 raw vegans, whether they have a channel on YouTube or they have a presence, or maybe they're just somebody that's active in a group that you're in, and maybe they post a lot of stuff. Take 5 to 10 raw vegans. Actually, I would say go to YouTube. Take 5 to 10 raw vegans and go watch all their What I Eat in a Video days. You could probably do little snippets here and there. And within just a little bit of research, you would kind of get this big picture. You would see like this person does it like this person does it like this. You would see elements that you would probably take from all of them. You would see elements you would take from some because they have similar circumstances to what you have. There's other people you would take elements from because they live, well, it's kind of part of having the same circumstances, but maybe they live in the same area or they have, yeah, definitely same circumstances, like they're working with the same types of food or type conditions. But yeah, if you watched, let's go ahead and say 10. Let's say you watched or followed, tried to emulate or watch like 10, you would take enough bits and pieces. If you're halfway intelligent and you have a little bit of a filter, you would know. I just kind of know when I watch or when I'm looking at information, and I don't have to agree with everything one person says. It's like, I cherry pick. It's like I pick a little bit from this person. I'm like, okay, I like this, I like this, I like this. No, I don't, that doesn't resonate with me. And you take what you can from that person, and then you do the same with another. You do the same with another. You don't get into spending all this time about debating why they're not doing it right or why you think somebody else should do this and that. Just take your information and move on. So if you get just a nice broad spectrum of people like that, you've got a lot of examples to follow. But you do want to educate yourself, and there's a lot of wonderful books out there. I'm going to stick to my top two. that I'm always pounding because they're not mentioned as much as the others. They're not as big name. They probably didn't sell as many copies, but my favorite, Brenda Davis, and she's got 2 books. If you're not so familiar with, if you're new to the vegan lifestyle, she's got one called Becoming Vegan. Her second book is Becoming Raw. I recommend to everybody to have both of these books. I have them on my Kindle, and they're just such a good resource. You can use them. They're even more effective than Google. I can't, because they're specific and it's good information. So I can go in there all the time, and I can get those. I can answer, where do you get your protein? Are you getting enough calcium in this? Can you eat this on a raw vegan diet? Is this dangerous? Blah blah blah. Another thing is, don't let yourself get hungry. I say this all the time. It's one of the simplest things in the world. If you just start eating during the day, and you can hone your process, you can hone your way of eating, your diet later down the road. But in the beginning, you're just trying to program yourself, reprogram yourself to eating a new way. And it's not so important if you do it perfect, or maybe you're eating too much, or you're eating too often, or this or that. Just stay ahead of that hunger. As long as you're not getting hungry. And there's always the exception that, well, I do. Most people, there's the exception. Most people, you don't have cravings. You don't have cravings when you're not hungry. If you're full, your mind doesn't go to cravings. So keep yourself, keep yourself full. Keep yourself satisfied and satiated. Now, what equipment do you need? I think people can get overwhelmed, get a little bit intimidated, because they see all this stuff that in videos and in social media and with other raw vegans, that they might be like, oh my God, I don't have all this money to go out and buy this and this and this and this. Vitamix. I resisted the Vitamix for the longest time. And I got my Vitamix as a gift, so I'll just be transparent there. But once I got it and used it for 6 months, I'm like, I would do whatever if I had to go to Craigslist and hustle and buy stuff and resell it, or whatever my hustle would be, I would get myself a Vitamix. But it's not essential. I don't want to say, people live in conditions, maybe you got to get out there and hustle and sell stuff just to keep the roof over your head. So totally can do this with a cheapo blender. I did this lifestyle with the cheapo blender, Oster, probably a $30 blender for the first 2.5 years I was on this lifestyle. And then after that, I only stepped up to a NutriBullet, which, is not that much more expensive. So, you don't have to. It's nice if you can. It's nice if you can have that Vitamix. It's nice if you can have a juicer. It's nice if you can have this. It's nice if you can have that. But basically, if you've got a cheap blender, you got a cutting board, and you got some sort of a knife, that's really all you need. Now, one thing I would say, if you can't afford that Vitamix and you're just going to go with the cheapo blender, look maybe on Craigslist, on eBay for something you could get secondhand, or you could get a Yodana, but get yourself something you can make ice cream in. Or you could get a food processor. I know you can make them in food processors, and I used to have a little Black & Decker food processor that you can buy for $35. Now, the next part is your surroundings. You're going to eat what you have around the house, and most times, if there's good stuff around the house and there's not a lot of bad stuff around the house, okay, you might get in your car and go out and just get it when you get the craving or get a taste for it. But chances are, if you have good stuff in the house and you don't have bad stuff in the house, your mind's just going to default, and you're going to pick up a banana and you're going to pick up this. So I want to just show you a little bit to finish up this video. I just want to show you a little bit of my surroundings and what it looks like for a raw vegan, and how I keep my house. And this is just an all day, all the time flow. The particular fruit I have here right now is the particular fruit I have right now, but I have this same concept when I was in Costa Rica, always fruit around. So, and also too, there might be, don't peep my background. I'm going to go take you in the kitchen, take you where I keep my food, but just keep a lot of food around. So I'll be with you in just a second. Now, our old dining room table, which hadn't been used for a dining room table in ages, is where I keep the bananas. I do keep some other fruit, as you see there too. Got a few mangoes, but this has just gotten, natural for me as I've been in the States, and I don't always
am able to buy already ripe bananas. So I always have bananas at different stages, ready there on the table. And lately there have been a lot of mangoes, or actually for the last few months there's been a lot of mangoes. Then in the kitchen, I'm still prepping, I'm still getting these bagged up, but fruit, see there's fruit all over the house, all over the house. I even have my watermelon sitting in there, and that's why I'm always drinking cold watermelon juice. Got it ready, got it ready. In my freezer, I'm preparing for the winter, the fall and the winter. So you see what the theme is. It's not about the particular things I have. See, my house is set up raw vegan style. So the moral of the story is make it as easy on yourself as possible. Don't, listen, you could hack your way to doing this lifestyle rather quickly. I really want to encourage people, if you've been trying to do this lifestyle, and I know there's a lot of people because I see faces on social media that I've been connected with for a couple or 3 years now that are always trying, that are always struggling with it. Don't make it so hard. Just hack your way there. It's really not that tough. People make it more complicated than it needs to be because, as I'm always saying, they're trying to do this thing like we've always done diets before, and it doesn't quite work if you're doing that. So anyhow, just my 2 cents on how to do this thing. Hey, I'm going to do a giveaway again here pretty soon. I think I'm going to give away a couple of these on Facebook group on Melissa's actually heading up that group now. It's called Raw Vegan Monkeys on Facebook. I'm going to see about giving away one, like a men's shirt and a women's shirt over there. So go check them out on Facebook. But it's one of those non-contentious groups. If you're one of those raw vegan that wants to argue and wants to be a raw food police, nah, it's probably not for you because it's a pretty mellow, fun place to go. But I'm going to give a couple of those away over there. I'm going to do some other giveaways, which I'll be announcing on the blog, which is also rawtropicalliving.com, always down below. And I've got a link for this shirt. I've got a link for this shirt down below, and yeah, go get the monkey. I like the monkey. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.